Good evening, morning, and afternoon when anybody tuning in with me on this nice Wednesday. It is February the 21st, and in this video, I'm talking about the rejection of this Batman Beyond project. And I'm gonna state this here right now, even though I do a lot of Marvel stuff on this channel, and specifically Spider-Man stuff, because I'm a big Spider-Man fan, I don't mind talking about DC here and there, so I get to pick and choose how I please. Second, really, Warner Brothers, you're turning down the most secure character you've been using for the past 3 or 5 decades, as long as we can all remember. Not to mention, you gave this specific character a TV show, and it worked out just fine. Deadass. But the one few times where somebody puts up a Batman project and you say no, it's kind of funny. Frankly, this is salty at most, because the people who were presenting you this project were the same exact people who made the Spider-Verse movies, which were really good, by the way. I love both of them. But for them to come around you and say they want to work on a Batman Beyond project, that is the greatest thing you could do. I'm gonna make this clear. I love Batman Beyond. I love Terry McGinnis more than I love Bruce Wayne. I don't care what y'all say, it is a-okay. But this is gonna hurt some people. I prefer people who are not always in the cowl being Batman. Don't get me wrong, Bruce Wayne is still the GOAT when it comes to Batman, but it's much more interesting to see other people in the Bat family take up the cape and cowl. Either they were supposed to or because of plot. And I know that technically rings in the same situation, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes they vary. But my favorite two versions of Batman are Dick Grayson and Terry McGinnis. Everybody else is cool, but not as cool as those two. But we could have gotten an animated Batman movie. Another one. This one that could have really been in the theaters. And don't get me wrong, I know they've had The Killing Joke in the theater. I know they had one or two of the 90s Batman movies in the theater, and it's been a minute. And honestly, I think that's all I can think of that's been in the theater, because I've never seen Batman vs. TMNT in the theater. I've never heard of Batman Beyond being in the theater, which I think it deserved to be there. But we could have got another Batman Beyond project. We ain't had a Batman Beyond project, I think, since the early 2000s, and I think that's when Batman Return of the Joker came out. I know the show came out, I believe, in 1998 or 1999, way before, like at least a couple years before I was born. But I was raised on this show. I loved this show. But Terry McGinnis, the character, if it wasn't for the people who made the Batman animated TV show from 1992, Terry wouldn't exist. Terry is one of those characters where he was made in a TV show just because, and his character blew up so much, they made him permanently a part of the DC universe. And looking at the concept art, which I'm going to throw up all the panels, each one. The first one, which is really good, is when, okay, this is kind of split in two, but the first one I'm looking at is when Terry's flying through Gotham City. You can clearly see his booster boots at the bottom of his feet. This man is in his classical black and red. It's not all armor. It looks exactly like tights, but you know, the armor is mixed in with the tights. Think of it as like Black Panther, but with Batman. Like everything he has, all his gadgets, his weapons, his detective gear, it is woven into the outfit. You can clearly tell it is nothing but a one-piece suit if you look at the concept art. Then you look at him going through the alleyways of Gotham City, or standing on top of a building with the logo on top of above his head. Both of them look like a stellar prediction of Gotham in the future. And not to mention, there are some Easter eggs in these if you pay attention. Specifically, Ace Chemicals is at the top of one of these concept arts. Not to mention, one of them gives you a classical villain from the show that I didn't think would be in the movie, even if it was their first appearance in a movie. It was Ink. Ink is actually one of my favorite Batman villains since I was a kid. I don't understand Warner Brothers. It doesn't make sense. And then right before this concept came out, all the concept art and all this stuff came out, we already were told that James Gunn wanted to work with these particular producers of the Spider-Man franchise, the animated one with Miles. We already had gotten news of it on social media, Twitter specifically, or X, whatever you want to call it, and I also got whiff of it on YouTube. But I got whiffed that it was rejected just this morning. I know I'm probably late, and I know somebody got it earlier before I did, but that does not make any sense. It really doesn't. Batman has been the most reoccurring character in live action and animation. It doesn't make sense. We have 4 games, really more than 4, dedicated to this character, but 4 of them specifically that have jumped between PC and not PC. Well, yeah, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. All 4 of his games are on all 3 consoles, and I mean PS3, PS4, and then you can play it on the PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series, and then all of the PC stuff. You don't know. The only Arkham game I know is on even any other platform is Arkham City, which was meant for the Wii and the Wii U, all that stuff, and VR. Of course, you have Arkham VR, but every last one of those games, except Arkham Asylum, has a Batman Beyond outfit. My bad. Other than Arkham Asylum and Arkham Origins, they have a Batman Beyond outfit. And even in this playthrough, hearing this news, I had to go back and play Arkham City and Arkham Knight just to enjoy this Batman Beyond suit that they gave in each game. Mind you, I really love Batman Beyond. I love what happened to all these characters in the future, and if you watch the show, which I know majority of you have, some of Batman's villains either have changed, aged poorly, got affected by their dosages that they were using, or they came back full-fledged for one more showdown. The main person that everybody remembers is Mr. Freeze, as you can see in this clip right here. Mr. Freeze was the official Batman villain that came back for one more fight, and it makes sense. He's technically immortal, but in that episode, which really hurt to see, he became a villain because the people who tried to help him betrayed him, and they tried to kill him. So you could probably figure out from there. If you haven't seen that episode, I would recommend you going back to watch season 1 of Batman Beyond. It's on HBO Max, and I think it's the 5th or 6th episode. I can't remember. I have all the episodes on a piece of paper that came with the DVDs, but I stored it away and I forgot where I put it. Anywho, back of the matter. Do y'all not really understand how horrible Warner Brothers is doing right now? Not only did you kill the DCEU, now you're going to kill some of your future animated projects. You've never done it in the past. Majority of your DC animated projects have all been Batman, or at least featuring Batman. You've had Batman Under the Red Hood. You've had Batman Ninja. You've had Mask of the Phantasm. You had the Sub-Zero movie. You've had the entire Batman trilogy, which was Son of Batman, Batman vs. Robin, Batman Bad Blood. And then you have all the side stuff that's featuring Batman, which is with the Justice League specifically. They have their own trilogy. You have the Justice League War, you have Justice League Throne of Atlantis, and then you have Justice League Apocalypse War. Then not to mention, you have Batman in Justice League Dark, its own standalone Justice League Dark movie. He was on the team. He was still the detective on that team. It did not matter. Then you still have the classical Justice League stuff, which means you had Justice League Flashpoint. You had You had Justice League Doom, which was a good one, by the way. Not to mention all the other TV shows that featured Batman, including the fact that Batman Animated Series, Superman Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited were all connected. That was their first ever animated universe that was really connected to each other. And then we found out in Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis is technically Batman's son, but it wasn't by Bruce's intentions or actions. It was Amanda Waller. So you really could have done something special with this character, with this project, because I hate to admit it, there are people younger than me that do not know who certain characters are, the certain TV shows are, and it kind of hurts to not share that experience that I had growing up. There are literally 3 kids in my life right now that they don't belong to me, but all 3 of them will never understand how good Teen Titans was because they revamped it and it's more kiddie-like than what it was when I was growing up. They never revamped Young Justice, but these kids don't know what Young Justice is, so I have to educate them. They don't understand how good it was to watch Batman Beyond, Batman Animated Series, Superman Animated Series. They don't understand what it's like to watch all these Justice League TV shows because they're either unobtainable or they have to be gotten through Amazon, HBO Max, other. I have the DVDs, but I don't trust them with that. I'm sorry. I kind of don't trust them. They're a little destructive, but my point is I have to educate them on soul memory alone and also use what I have at my fingertips at my disposal. DC, Warner Brothers specifically. DC really ain't at fault here because they tried. They're trying. Warner Brothers, you need to understand this particular character, Batman. He's been around almost as long as Superman, but you've skyrocketed Batman further than you've ever skyrocketed Superman. Even right now, you're trying to skyrocket Superman with this reboot of the DCEU. However, you have neutralized Batman since, if I had to give my honest thought, ever since after the Batman in 2022, you have not tried to upgrade Batman. You have the longest to neutralize him. Not to mention, you just killed him in Suicide Squad, technically, and everybody was blowing their minds constantly all over the internet about how you've done this character. Now, you're telling the fans and the producers that you are not going to make a Batman Beyond film. That doesn't make sense. You've used Batman for so long, you might as well keep using him because evidently you can't do any other character correctly. Or if I say correctly, you don't either correctly want to use them or you don't want to correctly sell them. That's the problem. Please don't do this. I really hope that you guys change your mind. And I hope majority of the fans are doing the same thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a big fan of Batman. I prefer his other members in the entire Batman family. And Terry is one of the ones who deserves his respect. Everybody else has gotten a shot, but nobody has gotten less of a shot than Terry McGinnis. We get his outfits in games. We get to see tidbits in him on all the shows and stuff we watched as kids and growing up. I've seen more people cosplay more as Batman Beyond than I've seen Bruce Wayne Batman. And I hope to continue seeing more. But I'm only one man. I know there's probably a whole army on Twitter and TikTok right now trying to tell Warner Brothers to change their minds and get James Gunn to continue this project even without their help. But I hope that army stands strong. And as I said before, I'm not like a huge fan when it comes to Bruce Wayne. But I love Terry McGinnis. I love his character. I love his journey. I just hope they give his journey the proper introduction to live action or animation for today's generation, equivalent or better than what I was presented with. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We're gonna have to just wait and see how things turn out and play out. With that said, I'm gonna just leave you fellow DC fans to your opinions and thoughts. If you agree with me, cool. If you want to say something in the comments, I'm also for it. I'll be right here waiting. Catch you guys later.